Okay, we're on. Good morning, you're welcome to grade 10 mathematics, and we're still on the BECE series NECO. We should conclude that today, when the time allows for us to do that, and then remain your tutor online, MAMU with Jarvis. We'll go straight away to look at question 31 of the part 2, and then we'll go straight ahead to work. Now, in question 31, we are told that we should factorize 9a minus 27. 9a minus 27. All right. So 9a minus 27. We factorize in terms of the HCF. Terms of the what? HCF. So 9 into a minus 3. Because 9 can divide 9a and 9 can also divide 27. So our answer will be what? 9 into a minus 3. And for that exam, the answer will be A. Let's go to question 32. In question 32, we are told that when 4 is divided by the sum of a certain number and 10, when 4 is divided by the sum of a certain number and 10, the result is the same as dividing 3 by the sum of that number and what? 4. Find the number. So we start by saying, let that number be, let's use y. I've always been using x, so let's use y to be. Let that number be y. So if that number is y, it will mean that, say, when 4 is added to the sum, 4 is added. Or rather, when 4 is divided, when 4, sorry, I'll take that again. When 4 is divided by the sum, so that will be 4 divided by the sum of what? Y plus what? 10. The result is what? The same as what? Dividing 3 by the sum of the number plus what? 4. Now, when it comes to math, questions especially that has to do with what problem, you really need to listen out for the grammar. Look at the question. It says 4 is divided by. It means 4 is in numerator. The sum of what? A certain number and 10. The result is the same. Equality. Result is the same. Is equality. Equal sign. The result is the same as what? Dividing 3 by. So that by, the by there suggests that the 3 is the numerator and the other one is the denominator. So that will mean that 4 into y plus 3 plus 4 will be equal to 3 into y plus 10. So you open up the bracket, this will give you 4y plus 16 equal to 3y plus what? 30. What does this give you? 4y minus 3y equal to 30 minus 16. So that's what we usually say to cross multiply. Even though, or rather, though I am one of those school of thought, I don't confer to that. But I also believe that with time and understanding, even when you're cross multiplying, you understand the implication of what you're doing. So sometimes you notice that I won't talk much about that, but always understand the implication of what you are doing. Right? So this will mean that y will be equal to 14. In that exam setup, the answer will be E. You have your NECO junior WAEC, BECE question paper. The answer there will be E. So let's go to 33. Question 33. We have that the difference between the ages in years of a father and that of his son is what? 28. If the father's age is 42, how old is the son? The difference between the ages of a father and that of his son is what? 28. If the father's age is 42, how old is the son? Now, one conclusion we must draw from here is that the father must always be older than his son. So Take note of that. So here, given that the father's age minus the son's age, let me call that x, will give me what? 28. How old will the son be? These are 52 minus 28 will be equal to what? X. X will now be equal to what? 14. So the answer is 14. And the option available in that exam will be D. So that's for question 33. Let's go to 34. In question 34, in question number 34, we are told to find the value of x, given that x plus 2x plus 3x plus 30 equal to 150. Now, I have observed closely that students still find it difficult to handle problems like this. Once you see letters, try to attach fruits to the letters. For instance, this is 1 apple plus 2 apples plus 3 apples. You see, by that I mentioned apples, it makes it easy for you to understand what we're doing. So this is what? 1 plus 2 plus 3, that will be 6. So 6 apples plus 30 will give me what? 150. Meaning that 6x or 6 apples will equal to 150 minus what? 30. And then 6 apples will equal to what? 120. At this point in time, 6 things, 6 of a particular thing is equal to 120. What will 1 be equal to? Essentially, you'll be what? Dividing. So x will be equal to 120 divided by 6. And that will be what? 20. So x will be 20, and that option in that example will be 35. In question number 35, we have that 4x squared plus 8x minus x squared minus 3x. We're giving that expression. This is what we call an expression. This is what we call an expression. We call this an expression. Now, why is it called an expression? Because we do not have an equality sign here. Since we don't have an equality sign, it is called what? An expression. All right. So, the first thing you need to do is collect items. So this will be equal to 4x squared minus x squared plus 8x minus 3x. What will this be equal to? 3x squared minus plus what? 5x. 3x squared plus what? 5x. 8 minus 3 will give me 5. 4 minus 1 will give me 3. Now, having done that, the next thing you want to do now is look at what the question wants you to do. It says what? Find the coefficient of x. Find the coefficient of x. Now, there are 2 terms you have here. You have x squared, you have x. The coefficient is the number written in front of x, or written in front of the term. Speaking in generic sense now. But added to that, the coefficient technically is the number multiplying the term. In this question, we have 2 terms. We have 2 unknowns, beta groups. We have x as an unknown, we have x squared as an unknown, another unknown. What is the question said? What is the coefficient of x? The coefficient of x is the number multiplying x. So the coefficient of x in 5x is 5. Why? Because 5 is the number multiplying x. That answer will be what? B. 36. In question number 36, we have which of the following number lines represent the solution to what? This is the inequality you're given. Whenever you get a number line, essentially you may be looking at the question that is inequality in nature. So let's look at that. That will be 5x minus 4 greater than 4x plus 3. So how do you do this? This will now be 5x minus 4x greater than 3, which I have on the right hand side, plus 4. So x will now be greater than 7. How do you draw the inequality graph? So this is how you draw it. It's very simple. You start by drawing the line. Now you mark a point when you have 7. Now they say x is greater. Greater means it's facing your right. So from this point, you put a bubble. Now this should be an open bubble because this one, there's no equality sign there. If there were equality in front of the bubble, so this should be an open bubble pointing in this direction. So this is what the inequality graph will look like. And according to the exam, let me repeat what we have there. This is what the correct answer will be. Okay? All right. So we go to question 37. We go to question 37. And it says, use the following information or use the information below to answer question 37 to 38. So question 37 to 38 to 39 rather will be answered with this information. Now what's the information we're given? The sum of 8 times a number and 5 times another number. So I will just start by saying let the numbers be x and y. So I define the numbers to be what? X and y. Okay? Now, what else will I do? It said the sum of 8 times a number, 8 times a number, 8 times a particular number, let's say the first number, plus 5 times the second number, will give you 184. Good. Now it says the first number, x, minus the second number, y, will give you minus 3. Now the question says, what are the numbers? What are the numbers? You know, I always tell us to use elimination method to solve, but this is one question I'll make an exception to this, and I'm going to tell you why. Now, if you look at this time you call this equation 1, even though I don't use that approach, I will say from x minus y equal to negative 3, I can get that x will be equal to what? Minus 3 plus y, which will mean that x will be equal to what? Y minus 3. From this equation, I got this. Now, having done this, I will now say put x equal to y minus 3 in which one? 8x plus 5y equal to 184. In doing that, whenever I have x, I will now put what? Y minus 3. So I'll call the initial 8 into y minus 3 plus 5y equal to what? 184. So 8y minus 24 plus 5y will now be equal to 184. 8y plus 5y will be 13y minus 24 equal to 184. 13y will now be equal to 184 plus 24. Why is it plus? The crossing over of the equality sign of this one will make this one be positive. Make that positive. Is that understood? Okay. Now, 13y now be equal to what? 208. Meaning that y will now be equal to what? 208 divided by 13. 208 divided by 13 becomes what? 13 into 20 will give me 1. And a carry of what? 7 into 78 will give me what? 6. So y is equal to what? Y is equal to what? 16. But x is equal to y minus 3. Look at it. So it therefore means that x will now be equal to what? 16 minus 3, and that will be equal to what? 6. So I just solved it Let's now see what the question wants us to do. Let's say, what are the numbers? So the numbers are 13 and what? 16. The numbers will what? 13 and 16. So that exam, question 37. Question 37 will be C. Okay? Okay, so we have gotten question 37. Now it says find the product of the two numbers. Question 38 says find the product of the two numbers. So 38. So product of two numbers. That will be 13 times what? 16. 13 times 16. And that obviously will give you 208. And that answer is C. 39. The sum of numbers, sum of two numbers. That will be 13 plus 16, and that will be 29. And that answer will be what? B. Okay? So that's for question 39. Now we come to question 40. In question 40, you're given a diagram. So I'll display the diagram a little while so that you have an idea of what we are supposed to do here. If you look at the diagram carefully, you discover that what you have is a graph. You see a point called P. You see a point called Q. You see a point called arrow. Now, you discover that, look at P. P is essentially on the line, on the y-axis. So it has no direction in what? X. So it will be what? 0 for X and 3 for Y. Now let's look at Q. For Q, you discover that it is just below the line of the x-axis. So it will have a negative value, -1 for Y, and a positive value for X. So it will be 2, -1. Now, which other point should we look at? We look at arrow. Look at arrow. Arrow is below, negative for Y and positive for X. So it will be +3 and +3X and -3Y. Okay, I just did that so that when I start to solve on the code, you have an idea, a better picture of what we're doing. You can always screenshot and then look at that. So it said, what is the coordinate of P? What is the coordinate of P? Coordinates of P. Now, coordinate of P is on the y-axis. It's on the y-axis. So it means that it's on the y-axis. And if you have a value in y, so that's 0,3. That answer is what? A. 41. Add the coordinate of P to the coordinate of what? Arrow. Coordinate of P. Coordinates of arrow. So what's coordinate of arrow? Coordinate of arrow is what? It is 3, -3. We said that earlier, coordinate of P, arrow, look at it. X is 3, Y is -3. All right, so with that, by adding coordinates of P and arrow gives what? 0 plus 3, and what? 3 minus 3. So that will give you 3, 0. And that answer from your book will be what? A. Now, what about question 42? What is the coordinate of Q? Coordinates Coordinates, let's know that way. Coordinates of Q will be equal to essentially coordinate. Let's correct our spellings. Wrong spellings. Coordinates of Q. Now look at the coordinates of Q. It will be x equal to 2 and y equal to -1. So it will be 2, -1. So that will be the coordinate of Q. 2, -1. So that will be what? C. The option will be C. That's for 42. Now what about 43? In question 43, it says that the probability that Ada passes her mathematics examination is 1/6. So probability pass. You don't need to write too much story. It's equal to what? 1/6. So probability fail will be what? 1 minus 1/6. Remember that a probability, the possibility does not exceed 1. The highest outcome in any probability is 1. So when you do the right thing, this will be 5/6. Okay? So the question says, what's the probability that she fails? And that will be 5/6. Maybe we'll take that a little more expanded. 6. This one becomes 1/1. 6 minus 1, that is 5/6. And that answer will be 44. A bag contains 2 red balls. So, number of red balls and number of white balls. If a ball is total number of balls will be 2 plus 3, which will give us 5. Now, what is the probability that the ball is what? Red. Probability red. How many red balls do you have? 3. What's the total number of balls? How many red balls do you have? Sorry, 2. What's the number of balls? 5. 2/5 will be the probability of the red balls there. Right. So that's for question 45. Now, question 46. That's for 44. 45 says, what is the range of the following set of numbers? Range is equal to the highest minus lowest. So in this setup, the highest will be 90 and the lowest will be what? 80. Will be 10, sorry. So 90 minus 10 will give you what? 80. So the range becomes what? 8. And that will be what? B. And for the previous answer, the question will be what? C. Okay, so this way we're going to stop on today's solution of questions. I will trust that today's class has been beneficial to you, and I would want us to go back, try to solve the questions, and hopefully in our next class, we're going to finish this up and go into our grade 10 work. It's going to be a very, very interesting experience. Very interesting experience. I'll take our time to take the things little by little. And part of the bonus we're going to have is we're going to be having 2 classes for maths and 1 class for further mathematics. I want to take on the further mathematics aspect of the course so that you are well acquainted with what to expect in further mathematics. All right, I'll leave you now. Thanks for joining MAMU with Jarvis this morning for mathematics for grade 10. See you in my next class. So let's give us some time to copy. I will shut down. I'll just give us some time to copy. I will soon shut down. Are they looking for me? Are we true?